Yes, I don't from me now, Baba. At our platform, we as a host, Naji, and I want to make a DSCMO. Since I'm a Mokasi, per reporter in Saka, say, I. Union Brand here, Kevin Taylor, and so on about PM or Ghana, therefore, Cecilia, per report, you say, or by you, said president, and of all, you find details in what decided.
He arrived as Kevin Taylor. He went through gate 19. Gate 19 at the airport is reserved ordinarily for high-profile diplomats. So President Kufuor is abroad now. When President Kufuor is coming back, he'll go through gate 19. If a high-profile state official travels, say the Honorable Mahama, those who are not maybe inside governments, all of those people, they all go through gate 19. That's the gate reserved for high-profile officials. He was met by national security in gross violation. These national security people, and we are getting this information from people. In gross violation of a court order of a bench warrant. Ministers may or may not be aware. President may or may not be aware. He has arrived in Ghana in gross violation of a court order. The court order was against contempt of court. He spoke certain things in which the court believed was scandalizing the court. Kweku Bako and Haruna Atta went to prison for saying things that the court thought was scandalizing the court. This guy sits in America, scandalizes the court in the name of politics. A bench warrant is issued. His party is in power. So the state security apparatus, sponsored by the taxpayer, goes to pick the guy who has scandalized one of the most important institutions of democracy, the courts, and they bring him in. You have not even heard the worst. The worst is that they send him, he came by United Airlines, according to the story, United Airlines flight UA996 from Washington, D.C. And he came with an entourage, according to the story. He didn't just come, he came with an entourage. And they are up and they are so the people at the airport don't quite see people on the flight who told us. And guess what? The report is that sent him to Prestige Lake. Go and live in the house that is reserved for the vice president of Ghana. This is the same house that John Dramani Mahama lived in as vice president and even as president. When President Mahama was exiting his presidency in 2016, this is the house that he wrote to Nana Akufo-Addo, and Nana Akufo-Addo agreed that President Mahama can have it. Later on, party hawks prevailed on Akufo-Addo by force that President Mahama cannot have it. And so President Mahama had to relocate and find his own place where he has been living until he was re-elected as president. This house is where Aliu Mahama lived in. It's reserved, it's a cocoa board house that is reserved for the vice president of Ghana. This is the house that has been given to Mr. Sansadeli and his entourage to stay in the official residence of the vice president of Ghana. This guy, who just finished SS2, not because he can't pay, but because he can't learn, and sets up a media organization to basically drop down insults on every important Ghanaian. And because he supports and assists the political party, there's no problem with political parties supporting their own. Every political party supports their own. There's no problem. Akufo-Addo supports his own. John Mahama supports his own. Hassan Ayariga, who is in the studio, supports his own. But you cannot support your own by using taxpayers' resources to bring in somebody like that the court has scandalized. Now, he is now worried about the bench warrant. So he has filed an application at the Supreme Court. I've spoken to plenty of lawyers last night, and they all gave their perspective about, oh, this is arranged, oh, this one is that, this is that. And some of the lawyers said, no, the Supreme Court will never accept this. In the next 5 minutes, Lawyer Preku will join me and we'll go to the Supreme Court thing that he has filed. We'll tell you about it and he will give us the dimensions of it. But this is very interesting, and it should be worrisome if it is true that he's staying in the official residence of the vice president of Ghana. Yesterday, I texted Minister for Defense. He has not responded, Dr. Manibuama, and asked him certain questions that you are a Catholic priest, Dr. Manibuama. You are a Catholic priest. You are Minister for Defense. Who wants his child to be like this guy? Who wants his child to grow up and have an insulting tongue like this guy? Who wants his son to be like this guy? Who wants his daughter to be like this guy? And because of politics, you bring him to Ghana. Why, you think NDC will be in power forever? My goodness, even Kwame Nkrumah was not in power forever. Nkrumah was in power from 1951 up to 1966. Calculate how many years. It was not forever. J.J. Rawlings. Today they do June 4th, and Fifi Kwete is angry that NDC didn't participate in the June 4th. The all-powerful J.J. Rawlings. He was in power from 1981 up to year 2000. It ended. How do you do these things? Why do we do these things? Somebody that has insulted everyone. You bring him to Ghana with state money and go and put him in the official residence of the vice president of the Republic of Ghana. Jena Nopukwajiman appears to have her own house. She's comfortable with this. She doesn't want to move. So the vice president's official residence is vacant. This is the same place John Mahama stayed as president. This is the same place Muhammadu Bawumia stayed until 2024. This is the same place that Aliu Mahama stayed. This is the place where a fugitive from justice, against whom there's a bench warrant, is protected by the state apparatus to go and stay. How did we get this information? Because people who are in the state apparatus are unhappy with it. That's how these things leak all the time. People in the state apparatus are unhappy with it. They are grossly unhappy with it. So they are telling us, Charlie, give it to Good Evening Ghana. Oh, this one, give it to Okatechi. Give it to, what is this? What are people doing? What kind of thing is this? That's a conversation. But why have they brought the guy inside again? Oh, but what is this? If the guy has a cause problem, he should go to court. Why are they doing this? And they say we should send him back out. Yeah, call Good Evening Ghana and give it to him. That's how we get information. So those who are leading those people, beware. Minister, you are leading them, beware, because they are talking behind your back. And they are thinking that what you are doing is not good. They are talking, they are not MPP people, oh, they are state security people. They are talking behind your back. And they are thinking that this thing you are doing is terrible. Look at, we looked at some of the videos that he has done. Trying hard to get some of them that are okay, so we can show on television, so that those who often don't watch, they'll get a sense of who we are talking about. We struggled and got a little bit that doesn't have profound insults in it, because that is always the style. Profound insults. That's always the style. Have a look at this. Have a look at this one.
Akonya bia te se toilet you hine se be di anim na musomra so ase you se be kansam man kuntomra abrabom edian hine na yedi ni sa no ha edian hine na yedi ni sa no wo na wo ma santeman say otufo wo na wo se santeman o tom obi o mon kan kire wo asanteman say e ye wo otufo na otufo te wo na yesi sebio wo na nanom mo ba ye no sa nkwase asem we komo so ankende akonya kase we enkeda ho mo so nsɛmfo so dodo ye bu akonya nim tia na ye so nyoma so otufo you have limited power. You have limited power. Asante is nothing. Say 2 million Asante biem. 2 million mensia biem. Emi mpaya wo wiase nyina ye showa masarai. Bebeliza on the Corinthians on the wo nyina ultimate san bayare. Ankan Williams. Ono so ne ba no so aboda mo se den osora no atichen. We ni kwate hia te se mire. Edidi nkwase asem on TikTok. Was Ankan William. Wa bompaya wo wiase nyina de brofo abo ultimate san bayare. Na mo mo gimi nyara. Mensa otabo. Agotina court a bank board so we wiase ka tetram o de nam Ghana. Osora no hye Igbo for curtains.
The guy that they put in the vice president's house to protect him because there's a court bench warrant against him. I mean, I can't understand it. This is the guy. Does anybody want his child to grow up like this? Does anybody watching me want your child? People want their children to be politicians. They are decent politicians. And I was asking the minister in the text. They are very decent people in NDC. Mahama is decent. Haruna Idrisu is decent. Muntaka, who is Minister for Interior, is decent. Mahama Yariga, majority leader, decent guy. John Mahama, decent guy. Jenano Pukwa Jamano Penwasam University professor, distinguished vice chancellor. These are all important people. Do they want their child to stop talk like this when he grows up? And this guy says these things. As for the video of scandalizing the court, we couldn't show it because the court has already determined that it is contemptuous. So if we show it, we might just be in the same contempt. So we can't show it. But these are the things he said to scandalize the court. A court of appeal judge, sitting as an additional high court judge, looks at the video, issues a bench warrant. For that reason, whenever he comes to Ghana and that his party has come to power, they have to hide him. Now, they don't just hide him, but they give him a 5-star royal treatment and put him in the same house that President Mahama lived in. I guess President Mahama is not aware. Sometimes, these things are done by some of the people below. The bosses are not aware. Sometimes it happens. I've seen it happen before. So I'm guessing that's the modus operandi. And that's why people have asked us to put this out. So that if it's true, the bosses will see and they will call them to order that you can't do that. This is Ghana. This is a 35-year-old democracy. The courts, the legislature, the parliament, and the executive are three important, and the media are important institutions of building the democratic blocks. We cannot have this guy who calls anybody any name. And we had 3 hours of looking at videos. This is all we got. That is, even that you saw that we had to allow some horrible things in there. This is all we got. Is that the kind of guy that the government is protecting? Anyway, he's in court. Hassan Ayariga wants to go. I don't want him to go. So, Lawyer Priku, join me now. What is Kevin Taylor asking the Supreme Court to do? So what's the Supreme Court being asked to do?
Okay, so this is an application to invoke the supervisory jurisdiction of the court.
Yes, for us, we send some free that science about one thing. That is Kevin Taylor. As I be Pim Ewogan.